Today we're going to be discussing how NASA and FEMA are teaming up to devise strategies if an asteroid were to hit the Earth. So NASA and its international partners have been working for about 20 years now, and they've been scanning the skies for near-Earth objects, which are asteroids and comets that orbit the Sun and come within 30 million miles of Earth's orbit. In international groups such as NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, the PDCO, the European Space Agency's Space Situational Awareness NEO segment, and the International Asteroid Warning Network, the IAWN, have made better communication of the hazards posed by NEOs as a top priority. And next week at the 2019 Planetary Defense Conference, NASA's PDCO and other U.S. agencies and space science institutions, along with international partners, will participate in a tabletop exercise that will play out a realistic but fictional scenario for an asteroid on an impact trajectory towards Earth. These tabletop exercises are used for emergencies usually, and in disaster management planning, and they help inform involved players of important aspects of a possible disaster, and they identify the issues for accomplishing a successful response. So basically, if a near-Earth orbit asteroid were to come into contact with the actual Earth, what are these different situations and how are people going to be handling them? And that's what these tabletop exercises are all about. Getting things in the right order, so if something like this were to happen, we would be at least somewhat prepared. And on the normal Earth, when there's not an asteroid hitting, it could be something like a tsunami. It could be something like a flood. It could be something like a wildfire or an earthquake. What do you do? And that's what these tabletop exercises are all about. What do you do if an emergency arises? But this one's all about asteroid impacts. Lindley Johnson, who's NASA's Planetary Defense Officer, said, "These exercises have really helped us in the planetary defense community to understand what our colleagues on the disaster management side need to know. This exercise will help us develop more effective communications with each other and with our governments." And this type of exercise is also specifically identified as part of the National Near-Earth Object Preparedness Strategy and Action Plan, which was developed over a 2-year period and published by the White House in June of 2018. The higher-ups are thinking about this stuff. It's a real cause for concern, and that's why they do these meetings. These exercises aren't tightly scripted. The point is to investigate how NEO observers, space agency officials, emergency managers, decision makers, and citizens might respond to an actual impact prediction and evolving information. And next week's exercises will occur over 5 days of the conference, with exercise leaders briefing participants on the status of the scenario at the end of each day and soliciting response ideas and feedback based on the latest fictional data.